Green mark VGC says test.
Okay, cool. Everything works. Okay, cool. Oh, there it is. Back to fishing. One more week of fishing. I think this week should be the last one. I'm gonna have to spend way more time working on the trainer school, so that, like, ideally I want next week to be when I'm streaming and working on the trainer school. So should probably spend some time finishing the building the creative server. Also, that reminds me, let's run the ads.
Who's that Pokemon?
So how much bait do I have for one? Oh, really not as much as I thought. Well, this works for Wimpod, but not as well. I might try keeping extra Prismarine. Or actually, considering like the amount of Pokemon that give special attack EVs from fishing, then I might be hunting for something else eventually. I feel like next time I'm gonna be hunting, it's not necessarily for a shiny. It might be for like a competitive one, so I might as well try to slowly go through that bait. It's the first time like that I try streaming at the same time as Verdant. Actually, like at the same time as Duck, when it wasn't also a tournament, so we'll see how this goes.
Yarrowplant says hello.
Hi Yarrow, how are you doing? I'm gonna be trying my luck, and also mainly getting the last bits of Prismarine I need. Like, I don't need a ton of Dark Prismarine for this school, but I still need some. And I figured that fishing would be the most fun way to do it. That was my favorite song. Okay, cool. I was wondering, like, okay, does it actually play on the stream? Because, like, I know that it's been struggling a bit every once in a while. And thank God it is. Also, wait a second. I realize I'm not both of my mics.
Says you shouldn't give me this power.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna regret it. You know, it wouldn't be the worst thing I've given you trust, power/trust-wise. So, you know, I don't think I can regret this. I've definitely made worse decisions. Definitely made way worse decisions.
It's
Sandslash.
That came a bit late.
Lego Gaming _ says ITS Sandslash.
So true. 1 minute, I'll be right back. Of course, I get the weirdest timing of like, okay, I have to go AFK just as the starting soon ends. Alright, I'm back. I'm a king of bad timing. Okay, we're back. I still have no clue how I managed to swap the fishing rod items hands the moment I remove my headset. That is one of the biggest mysteries for me. I still have no clue how. Oh wow, it's raining for the first time on the server. So is music playing? Okay, yeah, it is. It's just that I'm not hearing it. So probably should have made some bait for Wimpod now that I think about it. Because like I know I don't have a ton left. There's some that like would work. Like I have some for speed EVs, but I don't think it's as good as Tango berries. But I haven't really haven't really done the math. Should probably do the proper math at some point. Because I feel like I would be a bit surprised at how the numbers actually look. Yeah, especially since I've started actually putting effort into like seeing what's the best way to encounter different Pokemon. I should have probably taken a proper look. Unfortunate, no Prismarine from that one. Yeah, I think like I need 13 Dark Prismarine blocks total, and I've got like enough for 11. I actually have like exactly enough for 11, so I need, well, 16 actually. So like 15 more since we already got one. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this is... So far, this is confirming what I'm thinking of, like, yeah, streaming at the same time as one of the big two so far is, like, means that it's gonna be so dead. I guess when, like, this time was just, like, an experiment to, like, okay, or the few times I did it is, an exception, or is it, like, how it's gonna be every time? And so far, it looks like, yeah, this is how it's gonna be every time. I don't know, it might have also been a bit of optimism, or just, honestly, kind of just trying to keep myself accountable. Like, yeah, like, at this rate, it looks like Doug's gonna be streaming every day this week, and I do want to at least, like, keep the consistency of doing it at least once a week. So, like, trying to wait on the day where he doesn't would be kind of a waste of time. But yeah, I'm not surprised that, like, it is very dead. Like, not unexpected at all. How much do I have left right now? Okay, 18. But it also doesn't help that, like, I had to go AFK for, like, a good 5 minutes as soon as I start. Water bottles. Oh, a horsey, cool. Go backpack, let's store those. This is a way to get bottles. And 14 more prismarine needed. Oh my god, what I'm hearing from, like, the broken music player is so funny. Like, it straight up sounded like text being typed out in a video game sound effect. Like, I cannot even tell what's being played. Oh wait, I did not want to leave Storm against that specifically. Oh, water terror shard. Oh no, that's not even water, that's stellar. Cool. And Remoraid. Yeah, I should spend some time on the creative server. Like, I haven't been because I've just been like, I've been spending a lot of time editing. So it's just like, and honestly, like, now, like, since I kind of had momentum going, like, I want to keep it going. And then I probably would have said the same thing about the creative server, but, like, the problem is, like, it kind of went away during... I was doing some pretty good progress until the Nether reset weekend. Like, that kind of killed any momentum I had, and I just kind of have been distracting myself from making any real progress. Which, yeah, I do feel like I'm kind of gonna be running out of stuff to do. I feel like most of the material gathering after this is gonna be quite boring. So I might have to do most of it off stream. I don't know when. Because like, it's not like I can edit at the same time. Which makes it a bit tough. Oh, Gorbis. Also, I don't know if the amount of time that we wait for Pokemon to be fished up is like... Oh wait, no, I think it's because of the enchantments. Because I was thinking like, this... I had to do some B-roll yesterday where I had to fish Pokemon. It took so long compared to what I'm fishing here. And I had no clue why, but yeah, I think it might be enchantments. Wait, oops. Need this one. Oh yeah, and I guess we can sleep. One more. There we go. It's still not a lot of Prismarine so far. Oh my god, tripwire hook. Horsey, please. Nope. Yeah, I still don't believe that shinies from fishing are real. At this point, that's the only conclusion I've got. Oh. Alright, PP was restored because of the fact that I slept. I forgot. I was like, wait, why do I have more why can I click the moves more than I thought? Yeah, that was why. So not gonna lie, depending on how... Okay, especially because like considering how dead it is right now, I might end up like making this stream a bit shorter than usual. And as soon as I get the Prismarine I need, I don't know. And then just go back to the editing dungeon. Oh, Prism Skill. I don't know how... I don't think I've got many of those. Okay, and Leaf Blade.
Oil says you.
Hi, Toasty. How are you doing? I'm learning my lesson that, yeah, streaming at the same time as Duck is not the greatest idea.
Toasty Oil says first exam tomorrow, so not great.
Oh, you got this, though. You got this. Yeah, I'm learning once again, yeah, streaming at the same time as Duck is, like, prime way to have a dead chat.
Toasty Oil says it's my worst one, so rip.
Oh, wait, what is it? You got this, though. I believe in you.
Toasty Oil says further mathematics core pure.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds rough. You got this, though. I believe. My luck when it comes to the Prismarine so far has been atrocious. Like, they're like way worse than I was expecting. So do not need this fishing rod. So wait, am I not getting oh wait, it's probably going in the backpack. Now I think about it, I was like, wait, where? Where's the experience? Yeah, right, probably in there.
Toasty Oil says the first topic / lesson I had was talking about numbers that aren't real. Like WTF is that?
Oh, imaginary numbers. I don't even remember which ones there are. Like, the only one I remember, like, off the top of my head is square root of -1. Oh wow, that
Toasty Oil
is so.
says there's an infinite amount of them.
Oh, I ran out of bait on this one. Time for another stack. It is such a struggle to apply bait. Like, actual struggle. So I did not notice what level Arcanine is at now. Oh, 93.
Toasty Oil says square root of -1 is right, and as I, which stands for imaginary, so square root of -2 is 2i, etc.
Yeah. Like, that is the one imaginary number I remember. Oh. Please, horsey. Please. Yes! Yes.
Toasty Oil says, and that's the easiest topic, so ye.
Oh, God. Okay, at least the horsies are showing up right now. Nice! 2 in a row. So now I only need 12 more. Okay. Yeah, and that was more what I expected. How many exams do you have? Because like I know that you said like it is your first one, it is the one you're struggling with the most, but like how many others do you have?
Toasty Oil says the calculator alone goes up to 300 Canadian dollars.
Oh god. I don't even remember how much the calculators I used cost. Like it definitely wasn't that much.
Toasty Oil says I do maths, further maths, and physics, but I sit 10 exams.
Oh. Yeah, okay, that is gonna be rough. Oh. But I'll take the ink sacs because I know I'm gonna need at least a bit of black dye, possibly quite a bit, but I don't think I'm gonna need that much of it. Actually, yeah, I shouldn't. And even then, like, it's not too bad because I've got quite a bit of black caper
Toasty Oil
coins.
says in England these tests are the only things that matter. We don't have grades every semester or anything similar.
Wait, really? That is so dumb. It is so dumb.
Toasty Oil says this is worth 100% of my last 2 years, and I don't like it.
Like, it is so weird considering how it's just like one poorly worded question that like you just slightly misread what it said or anything like that, and oh yeah, your entire year is wasted. I remember like back when there was like one time where like a third of my year was decided on one exam. I misread the question and basically was stuck with an 8% and basically had to spend the rest of the year trying to make up for that, and basically was just such an uphill battle. And somehow managed to just come back from that somehow.
I lost 20% of the total marks on a practice exam due to a negative symbol cause said thing was going in the other direction.
Yeah, exactly what I mean. Like, sometimes it's just like that kind of stuff can happen so easily. It's not like you didn't understand the material, it was just one minor mistake. Not even a nibble.
Toasty Oil says funny thing is that they don't tell you the direction. You
Oh.
have to assume it's always redirected even though it might not be.
That's fun. Alright, I forgot I've got a camera.
Toasty Oil says anyways he'll be listening in whilst revising for obvious reasons, lol.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna try to be a good yapper, but honestly, like, so much of it is just, like, so much of my past week has just been, yeah, editing, you know? Like, at least, like, I mean, so, like, I'm still worried because, like, I feel like I'm still early in it, so, like, and I'm probably, like, at the one of the two, actually, probably the one that's, like,
Toasty Oil says, oh yee, how's that coming along?
honestly coming along not too poorly. Like, I think I'm, like, almost at the end of the first 10 minutes like, fully edited. And the main issue is that it feels like it. And, like, to be fair, I think that, like, because, like, I'm close to the end of the section about Matt and Mason's team, and it feels like, and I know that's, like, one of the ones where I actually spend the most time explaining, so it's not necessarily going to be representative of the whole thing, but, like, after doing that part, I'm kind of worried that, like, I'm gonna spend way too much time explaining the different teams, and, like, too much time and not enough time building the narrative, or, like, if I spend enough time building the narrative, it's gonna be way too long just even getting to the tournament. And even, like, it feels like there would be, like, a bit of too much overexposure,
Toasty
which is the main
Oil
worry.
says I can explain some EVs, but I don't think that's needed, honestly.
Honestly, I don't then want to. Because of the fact that it's trying to go through every pawn member, I do not want to spend the time explaining every single team in every single bit of detail. Especially when it's not supposed to be just, like, extremely hard analysis, and also, like, more focused on the narrative than the analysis part. Even, like, during the tournament, the battles are going to be more focused on the narrative than the analysis. Partly because of that, and just I'm worried that, like, right now I'm still too hard on the analysis mode. But I think that, like, it makes sense that, like, I know straight up that it is one of the two teams where I'm going to be spending the most time analyzing, because firstly, it's one of the teams I worked on the most. But secondly, it's also, like, that team is basically the perfect way to explain how the Cobblemon meta works, because it was basically trying to build the most standard team possible, like, using every single thing that would be scary in this meta, every single one of the best options, and combining them into one package. So it is a good way to introduce the meta at the same time. That's kind of what I do. But even just, like,
Toasty Oil says yee, cause I have like my own Cobblemon speed tier thing I use, so yee that helps for me, but no point in an already long video.
yeah, especially when it's trying to juggle so much. And basically, like, even just explaining Matt and Mason's teams, I think I'm, like I said, I'm not done, and most of what's coming after is less analysis and more, like, character building. But I'm at, like, 4.5 minutes just in that portion. Even for the multi-battle tournament, I spent less time explaining the team.
Toasty Oil says L-Bot appeared the voice thing, didn't catch it, lol.
And that's kind of where the worry lies. Where it's just, this is one team out of 6, and I'm already spending that much time on it. Oh, some of them I'm barely gonna talk about them. For a multitude of reasons. But the point is still that it is so easy for that to, because, like, on its own, I think that, like, okay, 5 minutes to explain the team, not a big deal. But not when there's that many. Like, it does start becoming a problem when there are that many that I'm trying to talk about. Like, for some of them, it's not as bad because it also works as character building. Like, Mike, basically, like, because we did, like, all of the team building in Call, I can just use, like, the team building phase to kind of, like, really show how new he is to competitive. And, like, it really introduced him as a character, like, as a character in the video. So, like, that is not as bad, but it's still just, okay, we're moving on to the next team, and then moving on to the next team, and like, the Matt and Mason, it's a bit, like I said, like, I feel like I might be worried a little too much specific, mainly because I'm at the one where it's gonna feel the worst. Mainly because it is a lot more of explaining it on a technical side. So it is a bit less engaging in some way. Like, I'm really gonna have to ask for feedback because, like, so far I'm gonna ask every single person for their parts, but I need someone to to ask an opinion on for, like, the package, for the pre-tournament package, because I need to know. I'm gonna need second opinions on whether it's too much or if it's fine. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's fine in the end, and just like I said, like, I am at the most that's an info part of the video, straight up. So it is very easy to, like, obviously it's going to be a worry if I try to extrapolate from that part specifically. And I know that, but it still doesn't mean that, like, that there's no worry at all.
Toasty Oil says after my exams I can review it or whatever you need if you want.
Sounds good. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're probably going to be one of the perfect people for that. But, like, I don't necessarily want to ask too many pawn members because I do want to surprise them a bit. Like, for the parts about them specifically, it's mainly just to say, like, okay, yeah, the way I represent you guys, are you cool with it? I don't necessarily want them to, like, know how the entire thing goes. Especially because for some parts, like, it is going to be excessively silly. And also, like, for some of them, like, it really is going to feel, like, for some of them, it's not going to be as detailed as others. Like, for example, for Mox Prep, it's really quick because I did not really help. Main thing I did was basically be an actor, and I basically talk about his part specifically because it allows me to talk about habitats and how I hunted in those areas, like here, for example, and use that to land some Pokemon to people.
Toasty Oil says eBay also watched Pokemon VGC for like 3 years, so I've seen a lot of videos like the one you're making.
Like, I don't think it's really going to be comparable to, like, most VGC like, actually, the first part possibly, but I would say, like, the whole package is going to feel quite different. At least that's the goal. Because, like, I get to do the reason why I started making, like, VGC videos, because, like, I will say, I do not watch a lot of VGC content. Because I do not enjoy most of it, straight up. Like, most of the stuff that's used, like, to be educational, I'm overqualified, for the most part.
Toasty Oil says you're also too good for it.
Like, and for the parts that's, like, I'm gonna take Wolf as the main example, where it's more narrative focused.
Toasty Oil says perfect timing, lol.
for like stuff like Wolf videos where it's like, yeah, okay, it's a bit more narrative focused. In general, like the narrative for me feels too surface level for me to really be that invested. Like the way that like a lot of what I think would make for interesting VGC narratives are not the things that he points out. And that's kind of why it's just like, I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's not bad, but it's not something that like makes me go, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, I've watched a few, but like for most of them, it's really just okay. That's basically like second, like that's stuff I listen to in the background at most. For me, at least. Like, it does not really have the emotional investment that I think, like, at least for me, would make me as invested as I would like. Like, especially because, like, one...
Toasty Oil says, yeah, I love Wolfie's storyline videos, lol.
And, like, for example, for me, like, one aspect, like, I know that, like, is really, really undersold for the most part in VGC content is how no one is actually truly alone, and no one really does a good job of showing like how, yeah, you've got people supporting you the entire way, and that like, and the people that you encounter at tournaments and all of that is one of the most. It is one of the strongest points about events, and it's really something that people do such a poor job at showing. And ironically, it is exactly what I can do with like the video on the last tournament. Like, it really allows me to just be able to tell the stories that, like, they aren't really told in VGC that I've always wanted to tell, which is why I'm so excited on this one. Like, when I started making VGC video, like, the way that and my skin is basically based on the same sprite.
Leslie is a Minecraft YouTuber who entered VGC as a beginner, and she showed how friendly everyone is at venues.
And basically, like, my skin is basically like based on the same sprite I used when I started making VGC videos, which has a very intentional look. Like, like, you immediately notice that, like, I look like an NPC. And that's on purpose. Because the whole point of what I want to convey is I'm no one special. Like, everyone else looks excessively detailed, excessively unique, and I just look like an NPC. And that's because I'm no one special. The only reason why I have been really able to get anywhere is because of those people. Like, they are the special ones, and the only reason why I've accomplished anything is because of them. And that's kind of the... And that, like, if I can do it, anyone can. Also, that's what I've always tried to aim for. And funnily enough, I think it is, like, the video is going to be a perfect example of, like, all of those messages. And that's why I'm saying like yeah, it is more trying to I'm trying to more focus on the narrative than just over explaining everything. But it still needs like a good amount of explaining, but not too much. Like I think the only person I want to talk about the EVs for is Mike. Mainly because I was the one who worked on those, and also mainly because like there are a few things that I want to talk about, like how EVs work that like really need to be talked about. Because I did notice that there's a lot of mistakes that people make when making EV spreads, especially in Cobblemon, especially with the current rules that we've got on the server. Like, I've seen so many people mess up their EV spreads with even IV numbers. So many.
Toasty Oil says I'd probably still make up mistakes, but I don't think they're the worst.
Oh, like, the main thing I mean is
Toasty Oil says Matt always has like 8 EVs or 10 EVs, and I'm like WTF, that does nothing.
I mean, 8 EVs with even IV, like, 8 EVs with even IV numbers, that's actually the right number. At level 50, like, you don't, like, the first stat points are given at 8, at 4 EVs, they're given at 8. Because we only have 2 hyper trade mons, you need to be able to know that distinction. So, like, that is something that, like, you might think it's a mistake, but it might not be. If anything...
Toasty Oil says I swear it's 4 EVs, then 12.
If your IV number is an odd number, if it's an even number, no.
Toasty Oil says, oh yeah, I only calc using 31, lol.
And that's exactly why people forget about that. Because we can only have 2 hyper trained Pokemon, it means that you probably are gonna have to deal with that. So the mistake does matter at that point. Because yeah, and most of the time, why would you do EVs with like non-perfect IVs, except old gens with hidden powers? That would be the only other time where you actually would.
Toasty Oil says I do end up changing IVs if, for example, Matt has caught a Pokemon, because then I know exactly what numbers I can get.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is something that I mentioned is, like, for Mike's team where...
Toasty Oil says, but 99% of the time I'll keep 31.
I did not bother looking... I told him I'm not even gonna bother looking at EVs until we get... like, each of the Pokemon caught, because the IVs are gonna completely change what our EV spreads are gonna look. Right, now I remember what I forgot to do. I remember there was something I wanted to do before I left Prelude, and it was to get some PP ups.
Toasty Oil says a 2-ko with 31 IVs can be a Oko with 0 IVs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, for example, the Kilowatt roll, we don't have any more EVs than 252 special attack and 252 speed. Because all of the defensive stats had even numbered EVs, so it didn't matter. Also, on the final Pokemon, like, I remember you mentioned something like 10 EVs, but like sometimes it also, like, especially if it's already in game, it doesn't matter, because like you're always gonna have 2 extra EVs anyway. Well, not always, but most of the time you will. Like, basically I always treat it as like a buffer of 2 where I can intentionally just kind of get my numbers off if it's more convenient that way. Like, especially if it's a number that finishes with 8, I'll intentionally just go use the buffer of 2 on that so I can just use a vitamin. Is that gonna KO? Yes, cool.
Toasty Oil says I meant it as Matt sometimes is missing like 2 EVs to get a stat in multiple stats.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah, especially when it's 2, it is so weird. Like, when you said, like you said, in multiple stats. Oh, I can't wait until Dragonite gets a few levels, because then I'll be able to just use Wing Attack over and over. That means I'm going to be able to last here for a while. Because yeah, I might as well use like the fact that I'm fishing as an excuse to level stuff up. I will say, I do think that Dragonite was slept on quite a bit in the last tournament. Duck should have ran it. He really should have. Especially over Mence. Like, I do not see a world where I can justify Mence over Dragonite in this meta. How about...
Toasty Oil says up he just adds rough EVs so I can see what sort of EVs he's making, but like Showdown already lets you slide between stat values.
Yeah. Is that gonna... Okay, yeah, it does. It's actually, have you ever seen a valid reason to use Mence? Like, in this meta? Because, like, from what I see, like, it is just straight up outclassed.
Toasty Oil says Salamence?
Yeah. Like, I get why Sin is using it, but, like, if I were Duck, I would have just run Dragonite.
Toasty Oil says I looked at it before an ick.
Okay, so you're in the same boat where you really don't see what it could do. Like, I think Dragonite is pretty solid. Like, I could not... Like, I cannot question anyone running Dragonite. Well, I do if the team really doesn't... Like, it is not a pick that I would question as much as... Well, except if the comp itself is just really bad. But Salamence... Like, yeah, like, the only thing it gets that's really interesting, and which on its own is not enough, is it gets... Like I told Doug, yeah, it gets Protect. And then what? You click Protect, and then you're still not in a good position. Because you have a Salamence... You have got a liability on the field.
Toasty Oil says it gets considered sometimes, but usually replaced later anyway.
Oh, it's one of those. Potential Mon. We love potential Mons around here. My god, That is so accurate, actually. Yeah, it is a potential. It is the potential mod. Here, Matt was saying that he was trying to figure out what.
Toasty Oil says he gets added before all 6 months, then gets dropped.
That sounds just about right. Yeah, it is potential mod. Okay, we finally figured out what potential mod in this format is. I don't get how this works. Okay, yeah, okay. I see now. I get it. Probably gonna adjust that. No, actually, no, this is fine.
Toasty Oil says Crunch looks good for ghost types too, and I even considered Moxie, but I usually drop it, not going to lie.
The thing is, there's still so many better options. Oh, please give me Prismarine. No, unfortunate. Oh, oops. I'm not gonna lie, like, as weird as it sounds, because it really looks like it's not in a great spot, I think that Dragon types might be the most slept on type.
Toasty Oil says
In the
also is
format.
Protect really that valuable right now anyway.
Honestly, I think that it kind of is. But it's just that, like, most of the users do not really have a justification for it. Like, I think it's just as good as ever, it's just that the Pokemon that get it just aren't good. And that's really the main thing. Like, the thing is, like, Protect on its own is not enough to justify running a Pokemon. It's not one of those moves where you can just say, yeah, I can look at
I
it.
just think most users don't make a good use of it like Excelgar.
Like I say, like, I think it's really like I think we're on the same page where it's like, Protect is good, it's just that the users aren't. Like, I think it's very valuable, it's just that the users, like, they get Protect and practically nothing else. And it's not like one of those moves where it is pivotal enough that you can look past it, like, everything else. Just because it has that one move. Like, it's...
Toasty Oil says you've seen my normal teams. I love Protect, and yet I don't even look for it
Yeah.
in Cobblemon.
I mean, the thing is, I think that's one of those things where you've definitely looked at what gets it, and you already know that it doesn't, like, nothing really justifies it. Even Detect, like, I think there are a few Detect users that are worth it. Like, that might be worth it, but just... Ironically, I think that, like, the best Pokemon that learns Detect is one of the few that does not really have room for Detect. Because I'm pretty sure Mienshao gets Detect, but I don't think it really has the room for it. Ironically.
Toasty Oil says it has Wide Guard instead, usually.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Wide Guard is more valuable on it. Because, like, the thing is, most of the time, like, it is one of the Pokemon, or the other Pokemon wants to click Detect so that Mienshao can pivot it.
Toasty Oil says Blaziken Speed Boost has Protect, I guess.
Wait, does it get Protect? Wait.
Toasty Oil says not Protect Detect, but Ye.
Oh. Oh. The problem is I don't even The problem is that it's not even really good into this format. Like, it doesn't hit enough.
Toasty Oil says with CC and Flare Blitz, but I don't know.
Like, Flare Blitz is good. Because, like, it's good into Goldango, it's good into Whimsicott, it's good into Ninetales, but you just lose to Talonflame.
Toasty Oil says Brave Bird and Flame Charge too.
Yeah, the problem is, like, you're basically outclassed by Talonflame. Like, you're not providing enough, like, close combat I don't think is necessarily great in this format. Like, it's not bad, obviously, but, like, it is not enough to justify it over Talonflame. Like,
Toasty Oil says weighted has bulk up though?
Okay, but is that still enough to justify it over Talonflame is the real question. And why is the answer no?
Toasty Oil says probably not. Maybe if it was Swords Dance instead.
Even then, I feel like it's kind of hard still. Because, like, it still doesn't solve the biggest problem where... What does fighting hit that's, like, especially valuable... Like, that's more valuable than having Talonflame? That still remains the bigger problem.
Toasty Oil says Tar maybe.
Fair enough, actually. And I guess Mouse Hold, but like even then it's just... I feel like it's still a bit of a stretch.
Bitterest Boy says hello, hello.
Hi Bitter, how are you
Just
doing?
wanted to come say hi, smiley face, enjoy stream.
Thank you. But yeah, overall, like, Blaziken is, like, in a vacuum, pretty good, but in practice, doesn't really do enough to justify it, which is unfortunate. Because, like, on paper, yeah, no, it does seem kind of solid, but I don't think it just offers enough. And unfortunately, we don't play the format in a vacuum. And also, the other part of the problem is that it's just kinda too slow as is. Like it kind of is forced to detect turn 1 to really outspeed stuff that actually matter. Which is quite a bit of a problem when a lot of them, like, can just take advantage of the fact that you're kind of stuck in that position to just punish you for it. Like, Goldango can very easily punish a passive turn. Ninetales can just set Auroraville. There's just so much it can just punish a just passive detect.
Toasty Oil says Excelgar is a sleeper pick I like, but no way to activate Unburden like Tapu Lele or Indeedee Mail.
I know. And actually, like, there is one way, but the problem is that, like, it doesn't really have much synergy with it. Because, like, Rillaboom exists. And not gonna lie,
Toasty Oil says, yeah, I know Rillaboom, but acid spray, lol.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have... Wait.
That Pokemon!
Wait a second. Hear me out. Hear me out. Galarian Wheezing. Galarian Wheezing with Misty Surge. Now are we talking?
Toasty Oil says, so I got an ad that has ended now, but no clue what you said.
Okay, alright. Galarian Wheezing with Misty Surge. I don't think that would be good, but that's basically like the only thing you could do with Excelgor.
Toasty Oil says TBF, it usually uses specs, but yick.
Yeah, like, one thing that they did try to look at, but, like, I don't think is good enough, was Rillaboom and Drifblim. Like, I think it's, like, close to being decent, but just not quite enough.
Toasty Oil says 145 speed is probably enough to outspeed anyway though, but Tailwind
True.
Talonflame exists.
Yeah. Okay, not gonna lie, I do think that, like, Indeedee Melek Solgor might be kind of fun. I will keep hating on Indeedee anyway, because, yeah, that's, like, my classic at this point, but that might be kind of cool. Although, like, I do not mind Indeedee Mel all that much. I think Indeedee Male is alright. My real hatred towards Indeedee Female.
Toasty Oil says I only love it cause my favorite Tapu is Lele and Tapu Lele and Excelgor was a thing.
Oh, I love Tapu Lele. That is also my favorite Tapu. I was not a big Excelgor Lele player, but I miss when Tapu Lele.
Analog.
I miss when Tapu Lele was good. Oh my god, rain for the first time. Wow, that Seadra did not even drop Prismarine. I still need quite a bit of Prismarine.
Toasty Oil says I had one in home, but I don't have a game that I can transfer it to, so I just traded it for Lunala, which is my favorite legendary.
Lunala's cool. And it's so funny that every time that people think that Lunala is done, it just comes back stronger. A comeback story of the generation for 2 generations in a
Toasty
row.
Oil says that's what I always say.
That's why I think that my favorite restricted Pokemon is Water Spout. I went through so much with that
Toasty Oil
guy.
says I always have it on my team in restricted formats.
I'm not Oh my god, I'm struggling to talk. I'm not necessarily logged to anything in general most of the time. Oh no, that's a lie. In restricted formats, I tend to be logged into Insane. And that's basically like the only time I
Toasty
normally
Oil
run
says I
Insane.
tried Groudon, Miraidon, Koraidon, so Lunadon with all 3 Dons.
At first I went with Koraidon, Lunala, then I swapped to Swordfish. Then I stopped playing the format. But when last time I played I was using Swordfish. Swordfish is fun, it's just not really good. Like, it's not bad, it's just not great. I can't believe we came close to seeing Terrapagos win a regional last weekend. Did you watch LA, by the way? Top
Toasty Oil says I stuck with Koraidon, but not Geo's version, I had my own one.
Terrapagos came so close to winning a regional. Top 4A Game 2 is one of the sickest comebacks.
Toasty Oil says I did not watch LA.
I recommend watching Top 4A. Game 2 is a masterclass of a comeback. Like, I've never seen a more impressive comeback in my life. Like,
Toasty Oil says I hate Terrapagos though, lol.
I know, I will tell you, that is like the only time I've ever rooted for Terrapagos. Mainly because it was my friend. But normally, Canada loves to talk trash about Terrapagos. That was the first time we were rooting for Terrapagos. That was such... the comeback was insane. And most of us were sure that he had lost so badly, and then just all of a sudden, we're all blown away by the gameplay. Like, it is... I will tell you, like, it says a lot if I'm recommending to watch Terrapagos gameplay.
I use Koraidon, so a 70-30 matchup, lol.
Like, I will just say, like, it was good if I recommend watching Terrapagos gameplay. I would never normally recommend watching Terrapagos gameplay. But that was just something else. Like, for most people, it's just gonna be a set that they're gonna forget. Like, they're just happy that no one is gonna talk about it. But for me, it's just one of the... That
Toasty
game
Oil says
especially...
he absolute snooze fest clicking Calm Mind Protect for 8 turns.
Who said anything about clicking protect? That's how insane it was. Who said anything about clicking protect? You also might, if you watch the entire set, you're probably gonna cry at the end of game 3. I did. I sure did. Also, it sure would be nice if if the horsies would drop some Prismarine.
Toasty Oil says most Terrapagos I see usually go +4 or lose.
Well, it did go to +4, but not for the reason you think. I'll put it that way. And the reason why it went to +4 is kind of why the match was impressive.
Toasty Oil says +4 for this death boost sounds crazy if it's that.
No. It was Encore into it. It was against Encore Bundle.
Toasty Oil says Bundle got top 4?
No.
Wait, what?
It should have gone top 4. I'll put it that way.
Toasty Oil says I thought Bundle is a dead mon.
That's what I thought too. Oh, throat spray. I need to pick up that throat spray before going to sleep. Then use the sleep to recover some PP. Where is it? Oh, there's a sleeping bag. Cool, just in time. Cool. Now I don't even need to go to the healing machine. What level is Arcanine? Oh, almost 95. Oh, and Ninetales 100 now. Cool.
Toasty Oil says I did not know that sleep restored PP.
Yeah, not fully. It heals like half. It heals. It gives half of it back. Like it's a half heal, which honestly, not gonna complain. Although I really should get some PP. I have a bunch of PP ups. I really should just be bringing them.
Toasty Oil says last time I played Cobblemon was 1.6.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I don't even know if it's in vanilla or if it's just one of the mods that we've got installed. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Also, I will still say, I do not believe that Chinese from fishing exist. It is just their fake news. You can't convince me otherwise.
Toasty Oil says could be vanilla. I just lack Cobblemon info now. I'm in UNC to some players somehow.
Fair enough. Well, technically you are to me. Like, I'm just the unk when it comes to VGC specifically. Or in I don't know, actually, not just for VGC specifically. Just not when it comes to Cobblemon. Because, no, I'm just old in general. Oops, I did not mean to hit Remoraid. Sorry, Remoraid. Hope you're not angry. I was just trying to swim.
Toasty Oil says in UNC and BGC is good most times TBF cause of experience.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Like, if I had to pick between the two, that is definitely what I would pick. Because it feels like the experience, and especially just like having lived through the old formats, like it feels like some things just come back over time. Like a lot of the champions meta feels like, okay, we're just in the mix of 2014, 2015, and the Reg 8 all at the same time.
Toasty Oil says when I played day 2 for Scross tournament I was feeling the pressure a bit more.
Not gonna lie, it's weird to say, but wait. Actually, to be fair, it's not like I've been that often in day 2 because most of my career was played without, before day 2 was a thing. But at least for me, the pressure never really went away whenever I had a deep run. Like, usually it starts pretty relaxed, and then as the day goes on and things are going well, I start to feel it a bit more. And as long as I'm still in it, yeah, I'm feeling it. Like, at least for me, like, it's the start of the day, I don't necessarily feel all that much. Like, at least the early rounds. And then as it goes on, it just feels, I start to feel it more and more. Although for Vancouver, like 2024, didn't really feel it all that much. Like, not as much as I thought I would. I think it's mainly because, like, I was X1 for so long that I just felt like, okay, I've got another shot. Like, until I was in until day 2 itself.
Toasty Oil says also losing a game 3 in round 1 of day 2 to Wizard versus Arrow 1v1 with a 90% accurate rock slide was defo tilting.
Oh, yeah, it definitely would have. Because for, like, at least for day 1, like, I felt like, okay, in my mind was just, I want to make day 2. That is the first thing. Then after that, we'll start thinking about, like, further. And I did not necessarily feel that much pressure, like, once I was, like, X1 for so long. Because I never was actually, no. The only time I was X1 for as long as I was, which was, like, well, I finished day 1 8-1 at Vancouver 24, which was the first time I finished day 1 of Swiss X1.
Toasty Oil says also day 2 in regionals is defo harder than online tourneys.
Oh, for sure. To make it worse, that year, it was the year where we switched from standard time to daylight savings between Saturday and Sunday. So we had even less time to sleep on Sunday. Which is not a ton of fun, I'll put it that way. It's not a ton of fun. Like, I think I played almost the entirety of day 2 with a headache.
Toasty Oil says that's actually diabolical.
I was so tired that I played the entire, almost, like, I think after the second round of day 2, I already had a headache. And it just lasted the entire day. Fun. But you know, at least I was playing in day 2, so, like, could have been worse. And even, like, once I was in day 2, like, at first I did not necessarily, I thought, like, okay, I'm not necessarily gonna cut.
Says day 2 is day 2 still.
Yeah, and then I thought I was gonna be out of the running, and then until the last round where I was like, oh, if I win this one, I got it. Like, if I win this one, I should be in cut. And the worst part is, like, I see the matchup, and I think this is a great matchup. Okay, I got this. I lose game 1 because I miss Icicle Crash. Then I have the... I don't know if you remember the team in Regav that was like Flutter, Mainchew, Glimora, Torn. But it was that team. Then games 2 and 3 I played so aggressive. And it just... I managed to win the next 2 because of it. I was like, oh my god, I'm in cut. The production team...
Toasty Oil says accuracy missing is such a bad loss.
I still win the set at least. Then, the production team just takes me backstage to take picture for like, oh yeah, we're gonna need your best accomplishments for Top Cut. And then, yeah, take a few pictures. It was really funny because like almost all of my best results are at Vancouver regionals. Like I've got like day 2 at Vancouver 23, top 4 at Vancouver 22. I'm practically in Top Cut of Vancouver 24. One of my other best regionals was a West Coast regional. So like, oh yeah, you're from Vancouver, right? Since you're Canadian. No, I'm on the opposite end of the country. Standings come out. I'm 9th. Every single person in my resistance, because for your resistance, it only counts your day 2 matches, which is really, really dumb. But because every single one of my day 2 opponents lost their final round, except for the guy who finished 8th, I went from the best resistance of all of the X2s and X3s to just barely missing out. Well, one of the only 2 X3s to miscut.
Toasty Oil says Zacky and Waterspout. Wow, so original.
I know, right? Hey, you want to hear a funny story about that team, actually? Rillaboom never left team preview. I could have had a 5 Pokemon and I would have finished the exact same way.
Toasty Oil says poor guy.
I called Rillaboom a freeloader for so long. Bad Pokemon, freeloader. So many names. Until 2024, where it got its redemption arc. It was so good during Vancouver 24.
Toasty Oil says what would replace though in that team?
Amoongus. That's probably what I would have gone for. Like, that's actually what I went for at ADIC, and it was actually more useful. I did not do as well because my luck was really, really bad, but yeah, Amoongus was actually more helpful. And I will say, though, in my defense, you're saying like Zacian Waterspout, I still used it in Gen 9.
Toasty Oil says, oh yeah, I guess. Rillaboom was very popular too.
I still used Swordfish after it was nerfed. It wasn't just during the glory days. By the way, at that region...
Toasty Oil says I love the design of it, but holy nerf to the ground.
Yeah, I did not... Honestly, I do not think it deserved it. I don't even think it deserved a nerf. Obviously, I'm biased, but... It was not the most broken Pokemon in that format. Especially after you remove Dynamax. Like, the reason why Zacian was that good is because Dynamax was fundamentally broken. So obviously a Pokemon that just destroys the most broken thing in the game would be good.
Toasty Oil says lack of D-Max and maybe 160 attack instead of 170 would be enough.
I don't even think you need to nerf the base attack. Like, in my opinion, in Series 10, it wasn't even the best restricted. Second best, but not the best. Series 10 was the Gen 8 format where there was no Dynamax when restricted. For in case you didn't play back then. In my opinion, the best restricted in that format was Calyrex Shadow.
Toasty Oil says we arguing with the 70% usage rate right now, lol.
Yes, we are. Because I think it took way too long for people to realize that, yeah, okay, the Zacian team comps from Series 10 are just better if you run the exact same team with Calyrex Shadow. Like, people only, like, there was one person who realized that very early on. And basically, I stole her team. And someone else, someone else also realized that, yeah, wait, this actually works. And won, I think, the last big tournament of Series 10 with it. And if we're talking about, like, Series 12, like I said, the usage is mainly because Dynamax was absolutely busted. Like, if we're talking about, like, the main format with double restricteds, yeah, its usage was that high because Dynamax was absolutely busted. And that alone made Zacian. No, not that alone. Like, that would be exaggerating. But that is one of the main reasons why Zacian was just that good.
Toasty Oil says Eduardo used Swordfish and Calyrex Shadow for the World Championship TBF.
Zacian, not Swordfish. Swordfish is Kyogre Zacian. And yeah, Edu is basically the perfect description of what I call in the video I'm working on.
Toasty Oil says, oh ye, what am I saying, LMAO?
Edu is basically the perfect representation of what I call in the video I'm working on. Good Pokemon are good. Like, running the best Pokemon and then just outplaying because you're better is the very definition of Edu. Because he is better than you. He will build like he is better than you. He will play like he is better than you because he is better than you.
Toasty Oil says I was sad cause of Lunala's second place, but oh well.
Oh, I was happy because I did not I did not want to see Casty win. And also I do school. But I especially did not want to see Casty win. Also, yes, I have enough Prismarine. I just realized I finally have enough.
Toasty Oil says don't know the player, but I saw Lunala, and that's all I needed.
And you both. It was very easy for me to... Otherwise, I probably would have rooted for, like, a Lunala player, but not for Casty.
Toasty Oil says what's he done, LMAO?
he is known for very, very bad crash outs. Among other things. Like, straight up punched a chair after losing a set. At an event. Probably broke at least 3 monitors. And in general, just acts like quite a bit of an ass. Like, the Cassie breaks monitor. Okay, you beat Cassie, he probably broke a monitor with a.
Passion, but maybe taken too far.
And also generally acts like quite a bit of an ass. Like, as a whole, like, it is, like, if it was just that, it would just be like, okay, yeah, like, he gets angry. Not the only one, but, like, there's just more than that. I will say, though, that, like, there's one thing I kind of feel bad for him for. Like, he got banned from the circuit for a bit. On that part, I did not necessarily feel bad. Like, he did deserve it. The part that truly sucked is he won the travel award to NAIC, and he only found out after getting to NAIC. Which is like, yeah, that sucks, especially when you're coming from Spain. But no, like I said, and to be fair, the Lunala World Champions, I cannot say the same thing. They're great. Oh, actually, Naoto, I don't really know. I don't really know him. But Gio, amazing guy. Like, I remember that you said that he seems like a nice guy. The impressions are just as accurate as how he actually is. Like, for the vast majority of the community, I can practically only say good things about them. But yeah, like, if we're talking about, like, passionate and sometimes, like, you feel slightly too much, but, like, overall still a good guy, Edu is a good example.
Toastyuel says, dude, he let me restart my Wi-Fi because I couldn't join Game 1. I was 15 minutes late to Game 1 with him.
Wait, how much bait do I... Oh, I just ran out of bait. Cool. Now that I've got enough Prismarine, I'm... Well, first of all, sleep. But now I'm probably going to be... No, not sleep first, because it's still not quite nighttime. Now I'm going to be fishing for Wimpod for a bit. You know, it sure would be cool if Wimpod would finally show up. But I don't necessarily have a ton of bait. Come on, bravest.
Toastyuel says like he was so chill and just wanted to make sure everything is fine for a fair battle.
Yeah, that's how he is. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, I was like, wait, why is it not
Toastyuel says
casting?
still no clue how I pulled off what I did though.
It looked like you had the matchup, but you also played really well. Okay. Now it's nighttime, so might as well grab the sleeping bag.
Toasty Oil says, I wish I could show you game 3, because I think I played it so well.
I miss battle videos, but I get why we're never getting them again. I don't think we're ever gonna get it again. Like, at least now it's way easier to get a capture card compared to 3DS. So at least we've got that going on. I really don't have that much bait, huh? For Wimpod specifically.
Toasty Oil says, wasn't the only problem with them is that you can figure out the opponent's EVs by battling his team again or something.
No, even worse. Even significantly worse, actually. People with access to cheating software could straight up get the entire sets of the Pokemon in the battle. Because all of the info was stored in the battle video data.
Toasty Oil says, like live?
No, not live. Like, they could just extract the replay, put it in PK Hex, and in there, they could just get the entire sets of both teams. But it has to be after the battle. But for example, that was like, could have been a big problem for scouting during, like, between day 1 and day 2. Or more specifically, like, after Swiss, before Top Cut. If you had someone who did face someone and had that. It does allow for some cool stuff, though. Like, way after the fact, like, when I say way after the fact, I mean, like,
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, Salad Gene CAVA?
Saturday Gravy? Yes, it's going well. How about you? Been quite busy in the editing dungeon, but doing good.
Toasty Oil says, surely there's a way to just record it from your perspective without set info.
Oh! How is that like? Not gonna lie, I think I would have taken jury duty. Right? Like, recently, like, yeah, that sounds like some way to get money. Yeah, how's that like?
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, but like the guy is creepy.
Oh.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says it's boring AF.
How unfortunate. Well, actually, no, that
Gravy
does
Lou
make
Gibbons
sense.
says, I'd rather be a janitor.
You know, that makes sense, actually. Like, I feel for it to be entertaining, you have to be... Like, even then, I don't think it would really be the case. Like, it would have to be some, like, very deranged people. Like, not like... there's something wrong, but, like, in the... Okay, they're so delusional kind of way, more than... Oh my god, like you were saying, like, they do this like... No, not in, like, oh, they're creepy, as much as, like, they're so delusional kind of way. Oops.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, though, LOL, I got Automod.
Oh.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, yeah, you need a schizo for it to be fun, not just psychopath.
You get it. Kind of messed up that we're just talking about it this lightly and just in a funny way, but like not inaccurate. Yeah, it feels like their current, like, editing I have to do is gonna be so long. I'm got no idea how long it's gonna be. Like, I can't wait for it. Like, what it's gonna look like, because, like, I think that's gonna be easily my best video yet. But, oh my god, it's gonna take a long while.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, editing the tourney?
Yes. Well, not the Champions one, but like the last Cobblemon one, which, yeah, I think it's gonna be like, it is a bit weird because like I'm basically talking about like the entirety, because this server has like 3 main factions, and like I'm talking about like how the tournament went, all like prep and results wise about all of the faction I'm in, because we were basically the underdogs heading into the tournament, like not the biggest underdogs, but the underdogs that had a chance. So which honestly like makes for a very interesting storyline, but it means that like there's so much to cover, and at least for me, like the biggest challenge is gonna be like not dive too deep.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, gee, I learned some of it. It was pretty cool.
Like the hard part is like I still need to explain how most of the teams work, but like I have to build the storylines, the narrative at the same time, and not spend too much time explaining, because like I feel like it would get a bit boring if I spent too long on that. So like it's gonna be, and also I need to make sure that like it's not all concentrated in the same spot. Like some parts I feel like it's not gonna be as bad, because like I'm able to kind of do both at the same time. And for some of the it also helps that like the first team I truly spent time explaining kind of doubles that, both explaining, okay, this is what these guys are running, and this is what what the meta looks. This is what the meta looks like. Which at least like also saves time for the future explanations.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, yeah, I getcha. Feel free to send me the rough drafts again, happy to help.
Sounds good. I think that's something that like so far the one I've done. Actually, the last Cobblemon video, I think I did well with that. But mainly because I did not necessarily have like as much I needed to explain compared to this one. So that helped. But I think that the one I did the best at it, between balancing like explaining the concepts as well, like mixing narrative and explaining concepts the best, was the Rumble video. I think that this one, like the flow was perfect. Between explaining like, okay, this is what I'm implementing this week, this is something that like is gonna help my game that way. And like the introducing new concepts and the narrative like work into each other extremely well, which I was very lucky about. In this one, I'm not as like with Pokemon. I think that like narrative and actually no, like I think that I have some moments where the two of them really work, but that it is not as easy and as straightforward, especially because like I think that the ones where I was able to build with people in Discord calls, like it, or just like, well, yeah, when we're just like going back and forth with voice chat, I think that those really work well as like a way to kind of like both introduce the person and explain the team at the same time, which is really nice. But for some of them, like it was only in text on Discord, which kind of forces me to just spend a bit time just yapping to explain stuff. Like, I wish that, like, for the actually no, like, one of them is not as bad because, like I said,
Gravy Lou Gibbons says you can do a text voiceover if you got the time.
I could, but I don't, like, the thing is, I think that it still kind of, because I don't think it necessarily shows as much personality for a lot of them, like, because, like, so, a lot of it in text just feels extremely straightforward comparison, so it doesn't really, like, accomplish the goal. And for one of, like I said, like, the one I just finished explaining the team of, like, it's not as bad because it's just, like, it makes me worry more, but, like, I know that, like, I'm kind of over worrying because obviously, like, I know that's the one where I'm going to spend the most time yapping about for multiple reasons. So, like, I should not really see that as, like, okay, this is how this one went, so this is how all of them is going to go.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, yay, I getcha. Gravy Lou Gibbons says it's tough.
Yeah. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Well, yeah, like, at least, like, this one is the longest one, and, like, the problem is...
Gravy Lou Gibbons says facts, lol.
Wait. I tried to figure out, like, oh, maybe I could... Oh, it's hard to figure out what order I want to go with. Now to think about it, like, it's kind of hard to tell which order I want to go with. Because I can see two potential options. And it's really hard. Like, I feel like I might have to wait a bit to see what order I want to go with, or, like, explaining the different, like, introducing the different people. Because, like, for one of them, it's like, it works really well as introducing the person, but it's a longer explanation versus one where it's like I'm covering two teams at once, but it's another where I'm just yapping because I talked to both of them through the text. Like, I know that's one of those two that I want next, but I'm not sure which one. Like, which of the two options. I feel like it might be easier because, like, I feel like it's very easy for, because, like, I think that, like, with how they're constructed, it's very easy for me to just easily swap the order after they're done. So I might want to wait until I'm done to really finalize the order. And to be fair, I think it might be easier to ask. It might be one of those things I might ask while asking for feedback, where maybe a second opinion on which order I think it might work a bit better. Wait, I threw. That was a Pikachu Cramorant. I should have caught it.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says you don't sweat it too much, you'll figure it out in the end. I got faith in you.
At least, like, I think it's a good thing that I'm even thinking about it in the first place. Like, I know that I've got plenty of time, so, like, it's not too bad. But it's good that I'm thinking about it, at least. But, like, I'm barely even started on the video. Like, looking at the bigger picture, I'm barely even started. I'm, like, almost 10 minutes in. And it's just the prep. Like, I know, to be fair, one of them, like, I basically have the entire audio figured out. And I'm just gonna have to put the visuals, and I think the visuals aren't gonna take too long. So at least, like, I've got that going on. So, and that's one of the things that, like, I'm less worried about it when it comes to this video compared to the last one. I feel like a lot of the, like, it feels more ambitious project, like, the scope of the video feels more ambitious, but a lot of the work is going to be way quicker to do, which is going to help me a lot. It also helps that, like, I think that overall I'm going to have way less voiceover to do, which is, in my opinion, like, my weakest part of my... No, actually, my second weakest part of my video making process. My weakest is still my thumbnails. Very easily. Like, no contest, that is easily the worst part. My worst aspect.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, let me gander am.
Sounds what I mean. They're all there. Like, I'm not even gonna say, like, they're horrible, but, like, they're the very definition of mid. They're the very definition of mid. But I think I'm improving at least. So, like, I don't think it's hopeless, but it's just... It is the weakest aspect. Like, if you compare to, like, the contents of the video, yeah, my thumbnails are, like, the weakest aspect.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says the one with the drawing of Crowden and you is pretty peak.
Oh, yeah, that one I paid a friend. I paid a friend back when I still had a job. That one is good, but, like, that is not me. I will not say that that one was bad. That would be a complete lie. Yeah, that one is good, but that is not me. And I'm still too unemployed to hire him again. So I have to figure it out myself. Yeah, like, if we look at, like, the ones I've made myself.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, I think if you copy the composition, it will do 80% of the work.
Because, like, I think that, like, for example, if you look at the ones I actually made myself, I think that, like, the one I made for the Cobblemon tournament is my best yet, but, like, there's still quite a bit to go. Like, there's progress, for sure, but... Yeah, like, I've got work to do. I might spend some time, like, I've at least, like, spent time working on, like, thumbnails on multiple occasions to try to make sure, like, I get better. Like, I went through multiple, like, I don't even remember when I did the first thumbnail for the Cobblemon video, but, like, it was fairly early on. And then I did a second iteration way later. And I think that the one I did was the better one. Like, the other one maybe was a bit better, like, color selection wise, color composition wise, but, like, as a whole package, that one was a bit better.
Gibbons says, yeah, the colors are more poppy.
Oh no, like the other one I made that was like still in progress was not. It's not. It's not public. Also, I will say one other thing that I'm really worried about. Well, like not worried, but like, and I'm struggling quite a lot with the video I'm working on is a title. Because it is such a weird thing to try to sell.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, oh, lol, well, the current one is still decent.
Yeah, like I said, like it's mid. Like if I say mid right now, I don't even mean bad. It's good. Just not great, not amazing. It's obviously not bad. It's just not mind blowing. Like I think that like I can say like yeah, I made some progress, but it is, in my opinion, my weakest point. Which is partly because like I think that like the rest I'm fairly decent at it. Oh wait, actually the other one is my speed. My upload speed. Like my general speed is not that fast. But I think it's mainly because like my scope is a bit higher than like what I've got. Like compared to the resources I've got, I'm go for a bit too ambitious. And it is still one of the things that I'm trying to improve on the most, like the speed at which I get videos done. Like I think I'm being faster, but it is still. I'm hoping that like I do the next one faster than the previous. Like at least I'm like learning. It helps that like I'm learning a lot about like what I can and can't use. Becoming more familiar with the tools that I can use. Also, just yeah, in general, just record like errors I made during recording. And also, like, learning those lessons and applying them for the next one. Like, I'm already learning a few things that I might want to do for next time. It's not gonna like, it's not necessarily gonna fix every issue, but it's gonna help quite a bit now I think about it. Like, I'm gonna need to remember to learn how to do, like, replay buffers and, like, save clips separately in OBS, so I don't necessarily have to go through entire VODs when I need like one or two specific moments. So at least like save some time in like the pre-selection phase, which obviously takes quite a while. Like for one of the portions, like right now only talking about the audio, I had to trim down like 4.5 hours of audio. I have like a group call down to 6.5 minutes. I think that took me over a day. Also, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to like learn some ways to just keep things a bit quicker.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, if yeah, that's long.
Like, I think it's gonna work because, like, I think I may need to cut a bit more, but, like, it's probably gonna be, like, a minute at most. And I think, I decided to take a break from that, mainly because, like, I think that as the rest of the video comes along, I might be able to... Like, as the video comes along, I might be able to... Like, I'm gonna have a better clue of what I want the vision to look like, so I might be able to figure out a bit better. Okay, this is what the final things should look like.
Who's that Pokemon?
And also the length. The length of everything also. to be fair,
Gravy Lou Gibbons says Donkey stops and restarts his recording whenever he has a moment he wants to keep, so he just goes to the end of each clip he makes when he's editing.
I know that, like, one thing I could do instead is there's an option for, like, a replay buffer where you can just straight up, like, there's an option so you can just have, like, you activate the replay buffer and then it's only going to save, like, the last 30 seconds and save that as a separate video, and that's what I'm planning to do. Like, I know that Rumble players use voice attack with that a lot, so that, like, I'm pretty sure you've watched Shula's videos, but, like, if you hear, like, Bivin say clip that, that's basically what he does. Like, he uses clip that to activate voice attack so that it activates the replay buffer to save the last 30 seconds, so you can use that for, like, his Explosion Wizard videos.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, oh, that's okay. Gravy Lou Gibbons says, that's cool.
So that's probably what I'm gonna be that's what I'm planning to do. Like, obviously, like, the issue is it's not gonna cover everything, but it's still gonna save a lot of time. Because, like, sometimes, especially, like, those kinds, like, the kind of videos like the one I'm working on, you don't necessarily know what kind of storyline you're gonna get. So some things that you think might not matter will end up mattering later on. Like, I think that one of the most interesting storylines that I'm talking about, like, in the video is Matt, who, it was his, like, he's got experience with VGC, but it was his first tournament. Like, in general, like, it was his first Pokemon tournament in general. So, while he knows how to play, he struggles with, like, managing nerves. So, like, the storyline of him, like, overcoming his nerves as the weekend goes along is one of the storylines that I think is quite interesting. But it's not like, and it's something that, like, has been as I look at, like, to the lead up to the tournament, it is something that, like, has been slow, like, it's been hinted here and there. But, like, back then, I would not necessarily have thought much of it, but that now in hindsight, I think, yeah, okay, I need to look for those clips.
Carnivine.
So, like, I still need to kind of dive to find those, but it still would have saved quite a bit of time. But, like, for a lot of it, I probably wouldn't know, so it would still save quite a bit of time, but it would still not, like, eliminate the process. Especially since Matt is one of the main characters of the video, since he's one of the ones who actually did really well. Like, I would say, like, the three main characters of the video are the main three that did the best. It helps that, like, the three of them, like, have very different, like, act as, like, three very different character archetypes.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, gee, that's a lot of time in the dungeon, no matter which way you cut it.
It is a lot of time, but, like we say, like, there are ways to save some time, so I should, like, learn to save some. Like, to be fair, I did learn a lot between, like, one thing that, like, I noticed very quickly in the last video is, like, oh, okay, yeah, this is my first time making a Minecraft video, so, like, I have a lot that I have to learn from scratch. Like, okay, I'm gonna be able to apply a lot of things to, like, improve the process for next time, and yeah, I can tell that, yeah, I've learned a lot already. Because I think that, like, for the last video, the amount, I've probably done almost twice as much in half the time as the last video, which is a good sign. And I think that one thing that helps is, like, for the previous video was not necessarily, like, still, like, I'm not gonna say I was completely rusty when it comes to editing, because, like, all things considered, the Rumble video was not that long ago, but I'm still I'm used to what my song spreadsheet sounds like again. As I struggled to remember, when looking for songs, it still took me a while to remember, okay, how does this one sound again? And as I've been at it again for a while, it's just, okay, yeah, I remember how this one sounds. I know I don't want it. This one I don't remember. Oh yeah, this one is actually perfect. This is exactly what I want. So I get to, because I think that for some, I kind of spent almost an hour trying to figure out the song per portion. But it's been coming way more quickly and naturally for this. As I remember, as the songs are more fresh in my mind. But I'm also noticing / accepting that I'm probably if I want to start uploading more regularly, I need some less ambitious projects to act as buffers between the bigger ones. That's something I kind of need to do. I know what I'm gonna want to do for that. Because at this point, a trainer school in this and the lessons are probably gonna work as videos as standalones. And I still need to get the trainer school built if that's what I want, and also work on the lesson plans. It's one of those things where right now I've got momentum when it comes to editing, so I kind of want to keep going. I kind of want to keep editing. Because I'm kind of getting in the zone. But I also kind of want to finish, at least building a trainer school, because I do want to work on this on stream. I kind of worked building the school on stream, especially since I'm basically done with gathering the Prismarine here. So it's what do I do next week? Because I still want to spend at least 1 day a week.
Raby Lou Gibbons says you can also cut some shorts from your docs to drive more interaction. But that trainer school idea sounds awesome.
The problem, I have thought about doing shorts. The problem is I don't think that a lot of the videos I don't really think really. Well, first of all, I think that's two very different audiences, and I don't think that the shorts audience is really what I'm trying to especially cater to. I don't think that the effort of trying to figure out which parts really work as shorts give the payoff I really want for the kind of content I want to make. I think that's the best way to describe it. It also really doesn't help that I don't watch shorts. So for me at least, it feels it's hard to to make content that I just straight up don't connect to. When people say oh yeah, this, they really don't understand their audience, that would be me with shorts, straight up. And I'm fully aware of that.
Raby Lou Gibbons says, yeah, that's understandable. I rarely watch shorts, and when I do, I check the full channel if I like it.
At least for me, the problem is most of the time I assume that if they make shorts, I assume that they mainly make shorts. And it's kind of the wrong. And the thing is, I don't think that a short mainly used to advertise a long form video is a good short. There might be some clips that I'm not thinking of that might work as shorts, where I'm just not thinking of oh yeah, this could work as a short, but
Raby Lou Gibbons says, but they're comfy and easy to wear.
So true. But the problem is that the amount of time, or the mental processing power that I have to spend working on that is stuff that I could like. It is mental energy that I could be using for something that like I think works better as like the entire like as the whole. Which like again like the trainer school is like a good example of like it would be like still long form, but still close enough to what like the rest of the content is, and like less effort, like editing wise, so that like it still does the job of like as like filler. Like I think a part of it is just actually I think the main thing is just trying to figure out like what other things I could see as filler that like would be entertaining slash still on theme with everything.
Naruto filler arc.
And the irony is like the reason why I was interested in this server was because like I thought that, oh yeah, it allows me from branching out from like just being like a competitive player, and the irony of it's still what I mainly do on here. Like it is still what I mainly do content wise here. Although not gonna lie, like I think I'm mainly waiting to complete the next video, so it just feels like okay, I've got more than one Cobblemon video, but I think I might try dual streaming for a while once like the next video is done. Just to see if like streaming on YouTube might just give me a good idea of like what else I could do on there. I don't know.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, yeah, I need to learn how to do that too.
Is that gonna KO? Yeah, okay, it will. Also, do I still have... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, do I still have bait on the rod? No, I don't. Not like I'm gonna have a lot, but I'm gonna have at least some. Because, yeah, like, I don't think that, like, I should ditch the videos that I'm... Like, this style of videos that I'm making, because, like, I personally think they're good. And people are telling me that they're good. But I know that, like, they take so long to make. And the thing is...
Gravy Lou Gibbons says I like them.
And I will also say that, like, I'm also aware that, like it or not, like, it's fun when, like, you know that if you stream, there's gonna be people watching. That, like, it's not gonna be a dead chat. Which, by the way, thank you. Thank you so much. And I know that, like, the best way to fix that is by making sure that, like, you've got stuff, like, ironically, not being on Twitch is the best way to grow on Twitch. So, like, that is even more motivation of why I want to put more effort on videos and making more videos. Because, yeah, like, I'm not gonna grow if I don't do stuff outside of the platform. Because discoverability on this is so bad. Which is also why I'm not really streaming more often than once a week. Because I'd rather be spending time editing because it feels like it's gonna be a better use of my time. I'm a bum, but I'm at least trying to put my effort to not be a bum.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says agreed.
Like, it is so funny, like, consider, like, the irony of, like, fully accepting that this pair actually gives me options compared to last year. Where last year I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna be able to find a job in computer science. So I'm gonna mainly use I'm mainly going to use streams as a way to code interactive stuff and make sure that I'm not rusty when it comes to programming. And like trying to figure out like how to be a better not better, a more successful content creator is kind of hindering into the main goal of why I'm doing this in the first place. So I'm not necessarily going to be doing the other things compared to now, except that like, yeah, no, I'm cooked. There's no shot. I'm so doomed. So like, I might as well just fully commit to it. At this rate, it might be like the main. It's like the only, not the only smart thing, but like it is basically the best thing I can do at this point. At least until I go back to school. And to be fair, I'm practically going back to school for that, so I think it's just gonna transfer over a bit.
Says I am thinking of going back to school.
Like basically what I'm going for is like a mix of web dev and video production. So like it is gonna help. Like even if it's not gonna be like exactly the same kind of setting, it still helps a bit of like. It is still a similar mindset, even if it's not exactly the same.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, oh, I'm looking at radiology programs.
The irony of Formula was just making the Rumble video made me like help me remember that, oh yeah, I forgot, I actually really like editing. Maybe like if I'm gonna be struggling in a bad market no matter what, might as well try to see if I can get something in something I enjoy. Like might as well like if I'm gonna feel like I'm gambling no matter what, might as well make it a gamble where if I win, I truly win.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says facts.
Like it is like the pessimism is kind of like it is so weird for me to say like I don't think I've ever felt as pessimistic. But I just see the pessimism as an opportunity. Like I see my pessimistic view as a way to be opportunistic. I don't know, it's pessimistic, but not necessarily like defeatist. Stupid? Quite possibly. Like, yeah, stupid mindset? Quite possibly, but might as well. Like, things aren't gonna change without change. Like, change isn't just gonna come to you. Like, that's something that I fully accept. Like, you have to make it happen. So, might as well.
Gravy Lou Gibbons says LMAO Nietzsche type stuff.
Look, I've been forced to spend way too much time with my own head. For better or for worse. I've had to spend so much time thinking. It's not like there was much else I could do. Wow, that sounds edgy. Oh, that sounded edgy. Oh yeah, it still beats just complaining and doing nothing. Like, I don't know, if it feels like I'm wasting my days, I might as well do something that gives me the at least take a shot. give myself a shot. Like, when it feels like every single day where I'm applying for jobs, it feels like the part of my day that I'm wasting. It is not, like, it's not good. Like, if anything, it's not even like feels like I'm wasting it. If anything, it feels like that is probably the, like, actively hurting me the most. Because, like, it's not even just, like, the waste of time. It's just the fact that, like, no, even worse than, like, the, oh my god, just spending so much time on that. It's also just the constant rejections with time. Just
Gravy Lou Gibbons says, I'm gonna head out, Gene. Good luck with your brooding and nihilism, lol. Looking forward to the Cobblemon vid.
thank you. Like, the fact that it just wears at your self-esteem is really, like, the worst. And that is really the worst part of it. Even if it's, like, completely out of your control, it still doesn't make it feel any better. I forgot how we got to there. I forgot how we got to this topic. I don't know, like, it's people saying, like, oh yeah, no, it gets better. Like, does it? I don't know. But just, whether it does or not, it's not just gonna magically happen. Like, some effort is required. How much bait? Okay, 4. Oh, I remember when we were talking about detect users. That is one of the detect users of all time. Spending way too long. I don't know why it took me that long to remember. Okay, what was the button again? Right, to real. I forgot what right click was. I kind of get it, but it is so weird to say. Yeah, I forgot what right click is. Okay, 2 more, and then... Okay, outrage. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, that has to be Arcanine, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't know, like, this Dragonite would be so good if we had Mega Dragonite in this. But we don't. So it is so funny to see like how little a superior gets moves wise. Okay. Cool, didn't protect. Because I'm pretty sure it does get it. But still no shiny found. Back. We go. Okay. Here we go. So, okay, yeah, I'm out. So I'm gonna need to get the next bait and also sleep. Are we getting sleep? I don't know. Yeah, I still need to look at the odds. How many are sleeping? Okay, practically no one. Okay, now there's more. Cool, we got everyone. Well, enough. Not everyone. There we go. Here we go. Oh. There's no such thing as too much bone meal. I'll also say, yeah, I need to check the odds. Wait, do I have my fishing nav on me? Probably, right? Or at least in one of the backpacks at the very least. Right? Okay, clearly not in this one. But where then? See it in this one. How about in the... Oh, there it is. Does it make it shows the odds? Okay, I think that those odds are worse than... But I should compare to see if, like... what's it called? I need to compare. Oh, I just noticed art in the background. So yeah, I need to compare if just regular, like just 2 starves and 1 Tanga versus 1 Tanga, 1 Tomato, 1 starve has better odds. Would be interesting to figure out. Oh, wait, I do know one thing that might be interesting actually. Like to do maybe content wise at some point. Oh my, yeah, I think I figured out a fun one. Like just straight up going through people's battles, like if they have the recordings, just going through them, see their thought process, figure out like what could have been done better. I think that might be a fun one. I might try doing that. I think that might be fun. Oh yeah, I think I need to spend time on the creative server. At least tomorrow. Like, I'm slowly getting, like, the worst part is like I was getting close to being like done with the plans for the school. So like I should just take the time to finish. And I also just have a lot I can do to work with. Because like, yeah, I think that next week, like, if I stream, I think I want to be working on that. Wait, those just eat fish? I didn't know that. Okay, maybe not. Maybe, but maybe not. Ooh, stellar shard. I know people have been talking for a bit about making that the currency. I don't know if that's ever going to come to pass. Like, it's not like it's something that people are going to want that badly. It's not like Stellar Terra is in a very in demand. Is a very in demand Terra. I know that people tend to not really care about their water Terra shards, which is I think the biggest mistake they could make. Because like, from what we've been told, it is gonna be the first gimmick. I hope not. I hope not because I hate Terra so much. But if it does happen, you want those. You want water Terra on almost anything. On all, like, there's so many mods that want water Terra. That water Terra shards are easily gonna be the most in demand. So I've been stocking up. hi, Harden. Oh, okay, looks like the TTS broke. Let me fix that. And no, it didn't. I've just been leveling mine up. I've been overdue to level up a lot of my Pokemon. And that is one of them. And I clean up after my fish, after what I reel in, so I use that as an opportunity to level things up. I like being a responsible fisherman. How are you doing, Arden? I finally got the Prismarine I needed. So like, I'm happy about that. And I still need to finish building this school in creative. I've been neglecting it since the nether. How can I the Great Nether Raid? Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. But still no shinies. I think I'm getting close to 2,000 Pokemon reeled in, which makes it absurd. Oh, broken Pokenav. Wait a second. Oh, it's still not fixed. I thought it was fixed. Let me fix the TTS. Yeah, I figured that you were working on that. I figured that you were working on the upcoming, the build the upcoming build, the one that you showed in the Discord.
Gmark VGC says test.
Okay, good. We're good. And yeah, since I finished getting the Prismarine fairly early, I decided to spend some time on Wimpod. Although right now it's not the best not the best bait combination for Wimpod, but I would be cool with a Staryu, so I'm really fine with this bait. Oops, slightly. Oh no, wait, it wasn't time for not even a nibble. Cool. I thought I was slightly too early, but good to see I wasn't. And the worst part is, like, it's not like I've got too much left to do in the creative world for the school. Like, it's really just the areas on the second floor. And even then, like, one of them is mostly done. Also to be fair...
Toasty Oil says I'm back.
Welcome back, Toasty. Yeah. Because I do need to get started on the trainer school, and like at this point, like, yeah, I know I'm not gonna be streaming more fishing again next week, especially when I'm done with since I'm done with the Prismarine. I don't think, like, unless I need absurd quantities to even get started, I don't think I'm necessarily gonna be going for resource gathering. Like, I don't think it's gonna be. It would be interesting. Like, if I've got the option for something interesting.
Says the delay is like a minute BTW.
Unfortunately, I'm not too surprised. Also, by the way, wait, were you lurking or did you refresh recently? Because that might fix it somewhat, but like, considering that, the TCS was struggling for a bit, I'm not too surprised that, like, there might be some struggles. Like, it might be a bit more delay, but to be fair, I'm not necessarily going to be alive for too much longer. Because, like, otherwise, like, I know that's not the first time where the delay got kind of bad after a while. So, like, and then restarting stream fixed it. But considering, like, I'm probably gone in, like, 2 or 3 minutes, if I had to guess. I'm not going to bother. And not...
Toasty Oil says I kept your stream open when I was gone.
Okay, so... might be related? But it might just be me being optimistic and might not fix it.
Toasty Oil says he'll refresh.
Hopefully.
Toasty Oil says, oh, that fixed it.
Okay, cool. Because I know that, like, a few weeks ago, well, when we revisited Camp Ninetales, it got pretty bad. Well, Camp Vulpix. Also, yeah, now that I think, like, I'm noticing that, like,
Toasty Oil says, oh yeah, I was there too.
my throat is starting to become a bit sore, so, like, yeah, tonight I'm probably not going to do any recording, so yeah, it sounds like a plan. So, that sounds like creative server might be the plan. Probably. So I need to remember how we get the reliable partner mark. Because I do want to try to get it for a few of my Pokemon. Like, it still feels weird that I have it on the Mudsdale, but not on my starter yet. Like, I really want to get it at least on my starter more than anything. Especially considering the amount we've traveled. And the trips to Camp Vulpix were an experience, I'll put it that way. Golurk also deserves it. Both of those at the very least should. Wait, I don't even remember how to get the reliable partner. Like, I think it's random, but I don't remember what the conditions are like, to even get it in the first place. Like, so that, like, you can even get a random chance.
Arden_VT says may appear on Pokemon in the player's party while having traveled a minimum of 10,000 blocks if above 200 friendship.
Okay. And yeah, like I was saying, like I was almost done. Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's someone I can raid into, but otherwise, like, yeah, I'm done for today. Yeah, no one, and I think, like, I can easily raid into, so. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, hopefully I'll start working on the trainer school.